Welcome to the Virtual Techy, where we help people decode the future of tech and build AI businesses that run on autopilot. All right, let's get right into it, because here's a problem I think we can all relate to. Most of us are trying to navigate this high-speed world, running on some seriously ancient, outdated mental software.
And that really gets to the heart of the problem, doesn't it? We're constantly fighting against mental lag, random glitches, system crashes, and we're left wondering why we just can't keep up. But you know, high performers, they aren't just working harder. They are operating on seriously optimized code. In this explainer, we're going to give you the system hacks to upgrade your very own human operating system.
So, where do we even begin? Well, the first step in any real upgrade is diagnostics, right? We got to identify the bugs in our current system before we can even think about patching them. Let's figure out what's slowing us down.
I want you to ask yourself, honestly, do you feel like you're constantly buffering? Do simple notifications completely derail your entire workflow? Does your whole system just feel like it crashes around 2 p.m.? If any of that sounds even a little familiar, you're probably dealing with a buggy OS.
And just look at the difference here. A buggy OS is always suffering from packet loss from every little interruption. An optimized one, it's hyper-focused. The buggy system gets totally drained by useless background processes, while the optimized one turns that focus into a legitimate superpower. That's the goal. That's where we're headed.
All right, diagnosis complete. So, what's the first patch we're going to install? To stop all the crashing, we absolutely have to protect our system's resources. So, it's time to install a powerful mental firewall.
You have to think about it this way. Your focus is your bandwidth. It's not infinite. It's a finite resource. You can't download the entire internet into your brain at once. So to run the applications that actually matter, your deep work, your big goals, you have to start denying access to all the junk data packets.
And this means we got to completely reframe how we think about the word no. See, every time you say yes to some random request, you're basically opening up a brand new security vulnerability in your system. But a no isn't negative. It's a security patch. It's you actively protecting your processing power for what truly matters.
So what exactly should you be blocking? Well, first up, low latency loops. You know, anything that gives you a cheap dopamine hit with absolutely zero value. Second, the energy vampires, those people or apps that just consume all your mental RAM. And third, all those useless background processes, like doom scrolling or getting sucked into comment wars. It's time to close those ports. Now that our firewall is up and running, it's time to go on the offensive. This is all about cranking up our processor's power and learning how to execute the most important tasks with maximum, and I mean maximum, efficiency.
You see, high performers don't just sit around waiting for motivation. They initiate a boot sequence. You need to create triggers that launch your brain into a flow state. First, your hardware setup. A specific chair, specific headphones that signal to your brain, okay, it's runtime. Second, the audio driver, something without lyrics, like binaural beats, that can really overclock your focus. And third, the routine, a stable, repeatable startup script for your day.
This quote right here, this is why that boot sequence is so important, because this highlights the single biggest mistake most of us make in the morning. We open our email and we immediately let other people write data to our drive before we've even written our own code for the day.
The solution is to start on hard mode. Execute your heaviest, most important thread first thing. Just look at the value disparity here. That one high-priority task is worth exponentially more than all those easy, low-value tasks combined. You got to get that done first before anything else gets a chance to interrupt.
Running at high performance is fantastic, but not if it leads to your system overheating. This next phase is all about proper system maintenance, the protocols you absolutely need to stay efficient without completely burning out.
Let's be clear. Multitasking is a myth. In computer science, it's called context switching, and it's incredibly inefficient. The fix? It's batch processing. You group your high-energy creator mode tasks like scripting, deep thinking, strategy all together. And then you group your low-energy manager mode tasks like emails and admin work into a completely separate block. Do not switch between them.
This is such a fundamental truth, and for some reason, we all seem to forget it. You don't just have energy, you have to generate it. Trying to push through on an empty battery, well, it just doesn't work. It just leads to total system failure. So you have to manage your system's thermal throttling with some non-negotiable recovery protocols.
Think of sleep as your nightly firmware update. Movement literally flushes the system of junk files. Getting some sunlight is like hitting a biological reset button. And proper recovery? Well, that's a full system reboot. You have to prioritize the charge.
Okay, so we've installed the firewall, we've boosted the processor, and we've set up our maintenance protocols. Now it's time for the final and honestly the most important step of all, taking full control.
This really is the ultimate takeaway. Are you going to be a passive user, just running the systems that other people have designed for you? Or are you going to become the architect of your own? That choice, it determines everything. And here's the bottom line. You can't just copy someone else's configuration file. It's not going to run perfectly on your unique hardware. You have to become the system administrator of your own life. Test different workflows. Iterate constantly. Build the custom stack that makes you fly. So I'll leave you with this question to get you started. What is the very first line of code you are going to write for your new, upgraded operating system? Is it installing that firewall, or maybe defining your boot sequence? Decide on that first step. If you found this helpful, please like, share, and subscribe so the algorithm can recommend more of my content to you and other viewers as well.